start with the great name of Almighty Allah, who is King of Kings. This is Mr. Mustaq from Department of BBS in University Campus, Larkana. This video presentation is for final exam supervised by Ma'am Hina Shah. My first topic is society and social structure. A society or a human society is a group of people involved with each other through persistent relations or a large social grouping sharing the same geographical or social territory, typically subject to the same political authority and dominant cultural expectation. Human societies are characterized by patterns of relationship, social relations between individuals who share a distinct culture and institutions. A given society may be described as a sum of total of such relationship among the constituent members. A society can also consist of like-minded people governed by their own norms and values within a dominant larger society. The word society may also refer to an organized voluntary association of the people for religious, benevolent, cultural, scientific, political, patriotic, or other purposes. A society may even, though more by means of metaphor, refers to a social organism such as the ant colony or in a cooperative aggregate, such as for example in some formulation of artificial intelligence. Social structure. In the social science, the social structure is the pattern social agreements in the society that are both emergent from a determinant of the action of the individuals. Likewise, society is believed to be grouped into structurally related groups or sets of the role with different function, meaning, or purpose. Example of social structure include family, religion, law, economy, and class. It contrasts with social system, which refers to the parent structure in which these various structures are embedded. The social structure significantly influence larger systems such as economic system, legal system, political system, cultural system, etc. Social norms are believed to influence social structure through relation between the majority and the minority, as those who align with the majority one considered normal and those who align with the majority or considered abnormal. Majority minority relations doctrine hierarchical stratification within the social structure that favor the majority in all aspects of society. Second topic, Lucknow Pact. The Lucknow Pact was an agreement reached between the Indian National Congress and the Muslim League at a joint session of the both parties held in Lucknow in December 1916. Through the pact, the two parties agreed to allow representation to religious minorities in the provincial legislature. The Muslim League leader agreed to join the Congress movement demanding Indian autonomy. Scholars cite this as an example of constitutional practice in the Indian politics. Mahajan led the Congress while forming the deal, and A.K. Fazl Haq, who was a part of the both Congress and the Muslim League in 1916. The Mahatma Gandhi also participated in the event. The Lucknow Pact was seen as beacon of hope to Hindu-Muslim unity. It was the fourth time that the Hindus and Muslims had made a joint demand for political reforms to the British. It led to a growing belief in the British India that home rule self-government was a real possibility. The pact also marked the higher watermark of the Hindu-Muslim unity. It established cordial relations between the Muslim League and the Indian National Congress. Before the pact, both parties were viewed as the rival who opposed each other and worked in their own interest. However, the pact brought a change in that view. The Lucknow Pact also helped in the establishing cordial relation between the two prominent groups within the Indian National Congress. Though Jinnah advocated a separate nation for the Muslim 20 years later in 1916, he was a member of the both Congress and Muslim League, was an associate of Tawilaq and hailed as ambassador of the Hindu-Muslim unity. The Lucknow Pact agreement took a new twist with change in a Muslim League political cooperation. The Qaeda inclusion in the Muslim League was a historic event which gave new direction to Muslim League political struggle. Self-rule for the Indian brought the Muslim League and the Congress closer to each other, and the leader of the both parties agreed that they should cooperate with each other to make the British accept their demand. They acknowledgement that the objective can achieved if the two major communities of India forget their differences on party issues and come closer to each other to see eye to eye on the important national issues. The political vicinity had taken a happy and a ground for tourist Hindu-Muslim unity had been smooth. Lucknow Pact is considered as a significant event in the political constitutional history of India. It is regarded as a high water mark of the Hindu-Muslim unity. It was the first and last Lucknow Pact signed between Congress and Muslim League. Importance of the pact. The Lucknow Pact was a great achievement of Hindu and Muslim leaders who were successful in offering for the first and the only time a mutually acceptable solution of the Hindu-Muslim problem. It appeared as a special significance in the history of India. It was Quaid-e-Azam who had always been a staunch supporter of Hindu-Muslim unity. The scheme provided for a substantial step taken halfway towards the establishment of self-rule in India, which was the main core of the jointly sponsored scheme of Lucknow Pact. Conclusion. The agreement was a very outstanding and its dream would fulfill the whole political scenario of the Indian subcontinent were different, but it was impossible to the parties to make a united India. The Hindus and Muslims are two different nations and they have different culture and civilization. Therefore, Lucknow Pact failed to make a long-lasting cooperation in India among the Muslim and Hindus. Third topic, Muslim League Foundation. The All India Muslim League, popularized as Muslim League, was a political party established in 1906 in British India. Its strong advocacy for the establishment of the separate Muslim majority nation state Pakistan successfully led the partition of the India in 1947 by the British Empire. All India Muslim League presiding leaders. Number 1, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Number 2, A.K. Fazl Haq. Number 3, Aga Khan. Number 4, Nawab Wakarul Mulk. Number 5, Hussain Shaheed Zorwardi. Number 6, Sir Feroz Khan Noon. Number 7, Khwaja Nizamuddin. Number 8, Yaqut Ali Khan. Number 4, Khaliquz Zaman. Number 10, Muhammad Ali Bogla. Number 11, Abdul Mansur Ahmad. Founder Nawab Khwaja Salimullah. Founded 13 December 1906 at Dhaka, British India, now Dhaka, Bangladesh. Dissolved 14 August 1947, succeeded by Muslim League in the Pakistan, Awami League in Bangladesh, Indian Union Muslim League in India, All India Muslim League, London chapter. The party arose out of literary movement began at the Aligarh Muslim University and was formed in Dhaka, now in Bangladesh, many years after the death of Sayyid Ahmad Khan, who was a central figure for the formation of university. It remained an elitist organization until 1937, when the leadership began mobilizing the Muslim masses and the league they became a popular organization. In the 1930, the idea of a separate nation state and influential philosopher Sir Muhammad Iqbal vision of unity and the four provinces in the northwest British India further supported the national of two nation theory, aligning with some ideas proposed by Sayyid Ahmad Khan, who in 1888 at Meerut said, "After this long preference, I wish to explain what method by nation, nay, rather the whole people of this country are to pursue in political matters. I will treat in regular sequence of the political questions of India, in order that you may have full opportunity of giving your attention to them. The first of all is this: in those hands shall the administration and the empire of India rest. Now suppose that all English and the whole English army were to leave India, taking with them all their cannon and their splendid weapons and everything, then who would be rulers of India? It is impossible that under these circumstances two nations and the Mohammedans and Hindus could sit on the same throne and remain equal in power. Most certainly not. It is necessary that one of them should conquer the other, and thus down to hope that both could remain equal is to desire the impossible and inconceivable with global event leading up to World War II and the Congress Party effective protest against the United Kingdom and literally involving India as a war without consulting the Indian people. The Muslim League went on the support. The British were referred. The Muslim League played a decisive role in 1914, becoming a driving force behind the division of India along religious line and the creation of Pakistan as a Muslim state in 1947. In India, a separate independent entity called the Indian Union Muslim League was formed, which continues to have a presence in India Parliament to this day. In Pakistan, the Muslim League eventually split into several political parties, which became the successful All-India Muslim League. The national level was seen as essential. By 1901, the first stage of this formation was meeting held at Lucknow in September 1906. With the participation of representatives from all over the India, the decision for the reconsideration to form the All India Muslim Political Party was taken, and further proceedings were adjourned until the next meeting of the All India Islam Muhammadan Conference. The Simla deputation reconsidered the issue in October 1906 and decided to frame the objective of the party on the occasion of the annual meeting of the educational conference, such as scheduled to be held in Dhaka. Meanwhile, Nawab Salimullah Khan published a detailed scheme through which he suggests the party to be named All India Muslim Confederacy. Fourth topic: Constitution of Pakistan of 1956. The Constitution of 1956 was the fundamental law of Pakistan from March 1956 until the 1958 Pakistani Cop year. It was the first constitution adopted by independent Pakistan. There were 234 articles, 13 ports and 6 scheduled origins. Pakistan became independent of the United Kingdom in 1947 but remained a British dominion like Canada and Australia until 1956 under Section 8 of the Indian Independence Act 1947, the Government of India Act 1935 with certain adaptations served as the working constitution of Pakistan. Still, the need of the full independence and the constitution to be framed of the elected representative of the people was all the more necessary for the free citizens of the sovereign state. Therefore, the first Constitutional Assembly was formed under the Independence Act and was entrusted with two separate functions. The first major step in the forming of a constitution for Pakistan was taken by Constituent Assembly on 12 March 1949 when it passed a resolution on the aim and objective of the constitution, popularly known as the Objective Resolutions. It laid the foundation of the constitution and indicated the broad outline of its structure. The resolution was moved by Liaquat Ali Khan, the first Prime Minister of Pakistan. While moving the resolution, he said, "Sir, I consider this to be a most important occasion in the life of this country, next in the importance only to the achievement of independence, because the Achieving independence only won the opportunity of building up a country and its policy in accordance with our ideals. I would like to remind the House and the Father of Nation, Quaid-e-Azam, gave expression of his feeling on this matter on many occasions, and his views were endorsed by the nation in unmistakable terms. Pakistan was founded because the Muslim wanted to build up their lives in accordance with the teaching and tradition of Islam, because they wanted to demonstrate to the world that Islam provides a panacea to the many diseases which have crept into the life of humanity today. The resolution was debated for 5 days. The leading member for the government and the large number of non-Muslim members, especially from East Bengal, took a prominent part. Non-Muslim members expressed grave apprehension about their position and role in the new policy. Hindu members of the Constitutional Assembly argued that the objective resolution differs with Muhammad Ali Jinnah Quaid-e-Azam view in all the basic points. However, the Muslim scholars and the large portion of the people of Pakistan were of the view that this was exactly what the Quaid-e-Azam wanted and that it was a good step forward in constitutional history of Pakistan. They also argued that objective resolution provided that minorities and with equal rights and that they had no compulsion whatever in adopting or converting into Islam. After 9 years of effort, Pakistan was successful in framing constitution. The Constitutional Assembly adopted on 29 February 1956 and it was enforced on 23rd March 1956, proclaiming Pakistan to be an Islamic republic.